If you've made it this far on the Young Living podcast, I think we might have something in common. We're looking for clean and healthy living. But so many things in life can seem like they get in the way. We can try different habits or goals or diets, but sometimes we need a little help. Something that can supplement the clean life we're already trying to live. Hello and welcome to Young Living's podcast, The Wild Drop. My name is Jacob Young, your host. Young Living is the world leader in producing and distributing premium essential oils, and this podcast will provide you with drops of information about Young Living, including stories, history, product information, lots of little fun facts, and even more. Ed Dailey is with us virtually today. Welcome, Ed. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. We're super excited to have you on for your very first time. We've been wanting to get you on for a while now, since you know a few things about some products.
Yeah, well, I've been educating for Young Living now for a little over 11 years, and supplements and our products are just incredibly amazing, and it's always great to help people utilize them in any way, shape, or form.
Well, Ed, before we get going on everything, just like always, we'd love to know what your background is, what your history is, and what brought you into the world of Young Living.
Well, that's a great question. So many years ago, I graduated nursing school back in the early 90s, and since that time have worked in everywhere from oncology. I ran a very busy surgical floor where we had 30 to 40 patients in and out every day. I created two integrative therapy programs utilizing Young Living essential oils at the bedside in two major hospitals in the United States. Pretty much have run the gamut, worked in the operating room. And one of the things that I noticed, Jacob, is that many people were doing a lot of things and stepping on landmines in their personal care and their health care. And by the time they got to see me in the hospital, it was kind of too late. And so my history for preventative health care and teaching people the skills and how to stay healthy and strong so that, when you're in your sixth or seventh decade of life, you're not really in an unhealthy state. You're actually in a real healthy state. And my very first time I spoke with Young Living, I spoke with, your dad was on stage as well. It was the 2011 Health Symposium right in Salt Lake City, Utah. And from that point on, my career started with Young Living and teaching around the globe for them. And back in 2015, I left healthcare, started working for Young Living. Now, people say to me all the time, well, you're not really in healthcare anymore, Ed. You're working for Young Living. I say, yes, I am. I'm just in the health part because we provide a lot of solutions for problems for people.
Yes, we do. And I love that you share that part. So obviously, all of you have read the title. We're talking about our relaunch of Longevity, which is one of our supplements. And while Young Living does have a lot of supplements, I think the most important question to ask is, why do people do supplements in general, whether they're Young Living or not?
Well, that's a great question. And we have to look at the current state of lifestyle in not just the United States, but around the world. I think you're seeing people more stressed than ever. When you're experiencing high levels of stress at any point in time, your body's leaching vitamins, minerals, amino acids on a regular basis. So giving back to the body is super, super essential. I think also the nutrition that people are eating is not close to its natural food source. I mean, look, I remember I had to shop for your mom and dad in Canada one time, and it was a very specific list about what I had to get and what I could actually get for them. And, the foods that they're eating are just so important because either they're feeding you or they're actually causing harm. Let's take three products: gluten, dairy, and sugar. When people eliminate those, they start to eliminate a lot of health challenges that you find, mainly inflammation. So I think the levels of stress and the fact that we've gotten away from eating foods to their natural food source, we have to give back with supplements. And our supplements are different. We're a company that adds things like essential oils to our supplements. And when people start to just imagine someone goes out to dinner and you've got, all three of the combination of those factors, gluten, dairy, and sugar, what happens is that causes inflammation inside the GI system. What people don't really recognize, though, Jacob, is that it's not just localized in the GI system. That inflammation then becomes systemic. So even things like your heart, your cardiovascular system, your brain, gets inflamed. We're at a state in the world today where dementia and Alzheimer's are at all-time records, and there's a reason for that. And it comes down to the foods that we're eating and how we're taking care of our GI system.
Yes, completely agreed. We have so many amazing products as well. And obviously, you know, some great supplements, I guess you could say. All of them are great. We all have our personal favorites as well. For me, I love my Super C chewables. I think those are absolutely fantastic. They're like candy for me. Um, but today we're here to kind of talk about the re-release of longevity. Now, this has been long awaited. Our brand partners have been asking for a very, very long time. When is longevity coming back? When is longevity coming back? But I think it'd be great for you, Ed, if you could kind of give us a little bit of a history and a timeline of longevity and why so many love longevity.
Mm. Well, it was back in 2002 when this product was actually released, and it's the combination of the oils that were put into this incredible product. So when you look at them individually, you have things like clove, which is super high in the antioxidant range and contains a chemical constituent called eugenol. Of course, you have frankincense in there, and that supports just overall general health and well-being. You look at orange, one of my personal favorites. It's a very underutilized oil, but high in D-limonene, which can then help support our immune system, and thyme oil, which is interesting combination to put in there. And when you look at it from a level of support, it can support things like DHA levels and support normal and brain function. And many people that I've talked to over the years that I've connected with from an education standpoint for this company have really, really gravitated towards the use of this product and are really looking forward to it coming back in stock for us.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. I actually didn't know about the orange. I knew about the thyme and the frankincense, but did not know orange was actually in there. So that's fantastic to hear. Now, with this being a re-release, is there anything that we've updated with the formula, that we've added to the formula, or was there just simply a supply constraint and that's why we're re-releasing it now?
I believe it was due to the capsule itself that it was in. I don't think there's been any change to the formula itself. Again, people are using this as a daily supplement because of its potency. And when you take things and you look at life and what we're facing a lot of oxidative stress in the body, a lot of free radicals, and using this product helps to maintain your immune function and really support cell integrity overall. So just a very potent product. And again, I think people are going to be really excited to be able to take this again on a regular basis and utilize it.
So obviously, because this is a re-release, Ed, what is different about the product itself now? I know we've had to change it up a little bit. So what all is new with this re-release for longevity?
Well, it's no longer a liquid capsule. So they've transitioned into a bovine soft gel capsule. And that's really the main change from my understanding.
Okay, fantastic. Is there what differences are there between obviously, a liquid capsule and a bovine capsule? I myself am not familiar with the bovine capsule term. I'm familiar with the liquid capsule term.
Mm-hmm. My opinion would be that it would generally be able for better absorption and probably stability of the capsule itself.
Well, this definitely seems like a product that we all need in our lives. Are there any other products that go well or pair well together with the longevity?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. And I know there's always been a lot of discussion about the topic of longevity itself. As human beings, how do we live long? How do we stay healthy? How do we stay strong? And I think that's where Young Living as a company, solves and serves to help, provide these opportunities for people to do that. So, I mean, obviously things like inner defense, we're coming into where it gets a little bit colder. Myself personally, there's many staples of supplements from Young Living. Number one, Ningxia Red, cannot get enough of that product. I'm taking that at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 p.m., infusing that Ningxia Red over the course of the day. Things like Life 9. Life 9 is our probiotic, which helps to repopulate the gut's microbiome, which has a huge job in everything from detoxification to sleep. And so keeping that microbiome healthy. Things like sulfurzyme powder. I personally like the powder versus the capsules, only because it's got prebiotics in there. You've got things like FOS and the wolfberry polysaccharide, and those prebiotics help our probiotics. And last but not least, master formula. And I think it's a great part of the greater conversation that many people are not getting the nutriments from the foods and the lifestyle they're living. And so, master formula solves that by providing all those vitamins and minerals that we actually need on a regular basis.
So with the prebiotics and the probiotics that you're talking about, can you kind of go a bit more in depth about that for those who may not know what you're talking about?
Sure, that's great. So our GI system is closely related to our immune system, and part of that GI system is this enigma we call the microbiome. Now, the microbiome is literally 100 trillion bacteria with about 10,000 different species, and they serve a huge role. As I said, a little bit with detoxification, managing stress hormones, helping us sleep better. So it has a huge role in the body, and it needs to be fed on a daily basis. So by giving it the prebiotics, which the probiotics like to feed on, that is one way to help it. But again, that microbiome needs to be repopulated on a daily basis. Usually at nighttime is the best time to take our probiotics. And for me, it's one of the supplements that I do not do without. Like everywhere I go, each day, I make sure that I'm taking my probiotics, my Life 9 for my gut health.
Super important to do that on track. I know for me, especially when I travel, I really focus on gut health. With my recent trip to the Ecuadorian jungles, there was a few interesting things that I had that I definitely wasn't sure if my gut was going to like or not. I personally did not like most of it, but nonetheless, with everything that I was taking and making sure to protect myself and make sure that my gut was protected, it certainly did the trick. Made it back with no stomach problems and no food poisoning. So I'm super happy about that. So Ed, once again, we're throwing around a lot of words. This can be intimidating sometimes, especially, for a brand new user who's going to our website, which is www.youngliving.com. But if someone were to go onto our website, could you kind of break down like where they need to go and what supplements are in each category that's there and kind of like what they're good for or what's the best use for them?
Yes, absolutely. So, that's the wonderful thing about Young Living is that when you come, many people are trying to find solutions for the life challenges that they're facing. So, let's talk about core nutrition. You have things like Master Formula, Ningxia Red, Ningxia Greens, Super Vitamin B, C, and D. You've got Balance Complete, Power Meal. Those are all great. You can move over to digestive health where you have things like ICP Daily. Most people are not getting the amount of fiber that they need. Life 9, as we talked about, are enzymes. Enzymes are just so important. You have focus products. So maybe you're trying to work on, things for the mind. So you have MindWise and Ningxia Greens and Nitro and Zing. Maybe it's a sleep issue where we have Sleep Essence and you have a plethora of essential oils that have a soothing and calming aroma. The liver, I heard that there used to be a club called the Liver Lovers Club where you had JuvaPower, Juvertone, things for your heart like CardioGize, Olive Essentials, Omega Gize 3. It can get even into more towards fitness and weight loss, where you've got products like AminoWise, giving the body back those branched chain amino acids, things like Nitro and Ningxia and Zing, and even our Sleek line, which is really has helped so many people shed pounds over the years, and it's been extremely beneficial. You look a little bit further, you can even target your bones and joints with Sulfurzyme, Super Cal Plus, Super Vitamin D. And many people come looking for some kind of relief. And we've got Cool Azul Pain Cream, Deep Relief. You've got our CBD line, which are all very beneficial to help people feel in a nice, relaxed state.
Thank you so much for breaking that down, Ed. Really appreciate it. Because like I said, we offer so much that when people go to the website for the very first time, when they navigate it, they're not entirely sure where to start. It can be a little bit overwhelming with the plethora of products that we have. So I think just with everything that you shared right there, that is going to be extremely useful and helpful for people who may already be part of Young Living and are still trying to figure out what exactly they want to, try out next or what they feel like they may need. So thank you.
And it's important to really understand too, everyone walks through a different door when they come through Young Living. Some people may walk through the clean living, space where they want our Thieves products. Some people, many walk through the supplement space and the essential oil space where they're again looking to solve a specific challenge that they're facing in their life.
All right, Ed. So with everything that we've shared, what's kind of your go-to? You talked a little bit about your go-tos. Is longevity kind of going to be your new go-to now that it's back in stock? Or is there anything else that you feel like people should start out with? Just like, when we're getting our day started, the first thing that we do is just we stretch. Regardless of what we're doing, it's just best to stretch. So when talking about stretching, what's like those supplements or what's those products that would be the stretching part of our day?
Well, definitely longevity. And again, when you look at cultures around the world that live to be healthy ages of, 90, 100, 110 years of age, they all have certain things in common that they do. They manage stress well, and they do eat foods that are healthy for them. And for me, longevity is that product that will be back in my supplement line and be using again on a regular basis because of its ability to provide the body what it needs. And we talked about that earlier. If you were asking me for just one supplement, I'd probably say Ningxia Red would be my go-to, or Ningxia Greens. Look, everybody lives a busy life. People are not eating the way they should. They're not getting the foods they need. And what an easy solution when you have, Ningxia Red, which has extreme antioxidant benefits. It helps do so much for the body. And then Ningxia Greens as well. I mean, who eats 60 fruits and vegetables on a regular basis? Nobody that I know. And so again, you make your smoothie with Power Meal, your Ningxia Greens, your almond milk, unsweetened almond milk. I put my sulfurzyme powder in there. Like that's just a whammy right out of the gate first thing in the morning. So helping people to understand what is the value of using our products at Young Living.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing all that, Ed. That was great right there. So we've been talking about a bunch of stuff and a bunch of benefits with longevity. And I know there's some of you that are listening right now that's like, wow, that was a lot. That's fine. So if you need a short break, go ahead and do so. Pause, come back when you're ready. But for those of you that are like, give me more, here you go. Ed, there's one specific thing about longevity that I personally like, and it happens to do with the DHA. And a lot of people probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Would you care to share a little bit about that?
Yes, so that's a really important polyunsaturated omega-3 fatty acid. And the thing about it is it's actually found throughout the body, and it's super important for normal brain function, including the growth and development of an infant brain. So it's a major structural fat, and it's about making up about 97% of the omega-3s found in the brain, and 93% of the omega-3s found in the retina of the eyes. Also, very crucial for cardiovascular health and health of our heart and cardiovascular systems. And it's mainly the thyme essential oil that protects the DHA levels. And so when you're taking longevity on a daily basis and you've got the clove and the frankincense and the orange, they're all working their magic within inside the body, helping you to stay healthy and strong.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Well, I think we've got everything as far as longevity goes, why supplements are important, why people should be taking them, where you can get started as well if you're not entirely sure. But one last time, if we can quickly kind of go back through the roster list of the best players that longevity has and why longevity is great. If you could go ahead and do that, that'd be fantastic.
Well, clove essential oil is very high in eugenol, and I always encourage people to look up what those chemical constituents do, and that has a great antioxidant effect for the body. Frankincense, which, how many companies have, frankincense? Not many, and it's an essential oil that really supports overall general health and well-being. Your orange essential oil is where your D-limonene, that constituent is super important in overall health, and that's what really helps support the immune system. And as we discussed, thyme, which was very helpful in protecting your DHA levels.
Thank you so much, Ed, and thank you so much for sharing everything. I learned a little bit today. That's one of my favorite things about this podcast is even though I've been with this company basically my whole life, I'm always learning something new for each and every episode that we do. So I appreciate you for sharing all of your knowledge, the information that you know about all of our supplements and our products and longevity, of course. I'm super excited for it to come back. I know a lot of people are as well. Ed, you're also ready for it to come back, so super, super stoked. It's coming out very shortly, December 1st. Have it marked on your calendars, ready to go. And once again, Ed, thank you so much for joining the podcast. We hope to have you back.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate your time and look forward to being back on.
Ed, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. And just a quick reminder to all of you that Longevity returns on December 1st. And there are a few more products coming your way just in time for Christmas, so keep an eye out for that. Once again, we'd like to thank Ed Dailey again for his help today, and we want to thank you for tuning into this episode of The Wild Drop. Remember, you can listen on iTunes, Spotify, on YouTube, and our website at www.youngliving.com. Don't forget to oil up Young Living family. This is Jacob Young, dropping out. Take care.